Intermediate Algebra for Statistics, using the slope of the line, Part 3. Lesson objectives: use the slope to graph a line. Write a linear equation from a given graph. Lesson objective: we'll begin with an example. Sketch the line that has the slope m equals -2/5 and the y-intercept 0, 3. Solution: we first plot the y-intercept. The slope is -2/5, which we could write that as a -2 over a +5, or we could have done a +2 over a -5. Let's do the first one. So the rise is -2, the run is a +5. So this means we're going to go down 2 and we're going to go to the right 5. So from 0, 3, we're going to count 5 to the right and down 2 units and plot 5, 1. So here's the y-intercept, 0, 3. So we're going to run a +5 and we're going to rise a -2. Then we're going to sketch the line that contains these 2 points, and we have the line. Finding the slope and y-intercept from a linear equation. For a linear equation of the form y equals mx plus b, we know that the slope of the line is m, whatever numbers multiplying the x, the independent variable, and the y-intercept is the value of b. So whatever number is here is going to be our y-intercept. We say that this equation is slope-intercept form. To graph an equation in slope-intercept form, we first plot the y-intercept. Then we use our slope, which is rise over run, to plot a second point. So for example, if m is 2/3, we count 3 units to the right from the y-intercept and 2 units up to plot another point. Or we could go to the left 3 units, so this would be a -3, and then we would go down 2 units, because a -2 over a -3 is the same thing as a +2 over +3. And lastly, we sketch the line that passes through the 2 plotted points. Let's do an example. Sketch the graph of y equals -3/4 x plus 4. So we begin with the y-intercept, 4. The slope is -3/4, so again we could write this as a -3 over a +4. If we do it that way, our rise is -3, the run is a +4. So from 0, 4, we count 4 units to the right because our run is positive, and then we count down 3 units to plot 4, 1. Let's look at the graph. So again, we start with our y-intercept. Our run is a +4, our rise is a -3, and this gives us the point 4, 1. We sketch the line that contains these 2 points, and we have our graph. Example 11. The percentage of people who use tax preparers rather than calculating their own taxes are shown in the table for various years. So this begins in 1980 and goes to 2004. Let P be the percentage of people who use tax preparers at T years since 1980. A reasonable model is P equals 0.9 T plus 39. Number 1, graph the model. Number 2, predict when 70.5% of the people will use tax preparers. So our independent variable is T, which is the number of years since 1980, and P is our dependent variable, and that is the percentage of people. Solution. So the y-intercept from the given equation is 39, and the slope is 0.9. Now we know slope is a ratio, so we can write a 0.9 over 1. This is our rise, this is our run. Now this would be hard to graph on graph paper, so we can multiply 0.9 over 1 by 10, because 10 over 10 is the same thing as 1. If you multiply by 1, you're not changing the number. That gives us a rise of 9 and a run of 10. So if we go to our y-intercept, which is 39, we're going to run a positive 10, and we're going to rise a positive 9. We get the point 1048. We connect these points, and we have our line, and we want to predict what year will it be when P is 70.5. So estimating using the line, we see that when P is 70.5, the corresponding T is about 35. So 70.5% of people, according to the model, will use tax preparers when T is 35, and since T is how many years after 1980, we would predict in about 2015 the percentage will be 70.5%. Lesson objective. Find the equation of a line that has slope 2/3 and y-intercept 0, -5. We're going to write this in y equals mx plus b form. We're given the slope. We're also given the y-intercept. So all we have to do is substitute those values in for m and b. So we have y equals 2/3 x plus -5, which we could write that as simply y equals 2/3 x minus 5. Finding the equation of a line from a graph. The first thing that we want to do is to identify the slope and the y-intercept from the graph. Then we substitute these values for m and b into the equation y equals mx plus b. So let's do an example. Find the equation of the line sketched. We see that the y-intercept is a -1. Now we need to determine the slope. So from the y-intercept, we see that if we go down 1, 2, and we go over 1, 2, 3, we have this point. Down 2 to the right 3 is -2 over 3. So the slope is a -2 over 3. So using our y-intercept of -1 and our slope of being -2/3, we have our answer as being y equals -2/3 x minus 1. Let's try this problem. If the points -4, 1 and x 13 have a slope equal to -3/4, what is the value of the missing x coordinate? Well, let's start with our formula. We know m equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. We know what the slope is. M is -3/4. This is our change in y, so 13 minus 1 over x minus -4, which becomes x plus 4. So we have an equation here with one variable, and we can solve this. And there's different ways of solving this. Probably the easiest way is to cross multiply, because we have what's called a proportion, where one fraction is equal to another fraction. So before we cross multiply, we want to simplify this. 13 minus 1 is 12. So we have 12 over x plus 4 is equal to a -3/4. Now since this fraction is negative, we want to pull the negative to one of these values but not both. I'm going to let this be a -3 over a +4. So when we cross multiply, we're going to take a -3 times x plus 4, put an equal sign, and that's going to be equal to 4 times 12, which is a positive 48. Now, solving this equation, we use the distributive property. We have negative 3x, and we have minus 12 because negative 3 times positive 4 is a negative 12. Our next step is to add 12 to both sides, which we get 60 equals negative 3x, and dividing by negative 3, we see that x is equal to a negative 20. To check this, we substitute negative 20 in for x, and we use our slope formula. The answer should reduce to negative 3/4. I'm going to let you verify that answer. Solve the following variables and the line going through the 2 points that has the given slope. So I'd like you to try these 2 problems on your own. So you may want to pause the video and then come back and check the answer. The answer for the first one, y equals negative 34. The answer for the next one, x equals negative 11. Thanks for watching.